Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday around noon, and that means it's the weekly yoga Facebook show with me, Irena. And if we haven't met, fabulous to have you here today. So yoga off the mat, what does that mean? Well, we go to our yoga class, and I had a wonderful opportunity to teach locally this morning. Wednesday mornings, I have my class, and it was great. We did a class all about getting the head of the thigh bones, the top of the thigh, settled back into the hip socket, essentially, which just means we were doing yoga poses like lunges and mountain and forward bends in such a way that they would be very calming and soothing for our nervous system so that we would remain grounded and calm. And, what's the benefit of doing that? Well, now the fun thing is that when I teach, I don't do the yoga. So I walk around and I watch everybody as they're moving through the practice. That way I can offer different tips and techniques to work with their alignment in their body where they are. But I still benefit from their wonderful yoga practice, the energy that they create in the room. So I mentioned a little bit earlier on, had that colorful picture talking about vibrations and how they affect us and how we can use those vibrations to find a place of peace. So even though I wasn't doing the yoga poses, I was watching my students do them. I might demo one, and I too would benefit and feel the calm that they felt as they started to shift. When you go off your mat into everyday world, here's how you know you're making progress as a yogi, and here's how you know that a yoga practice like this morning, taking the time out of a busy morning, coming to a class, setting up your mat, going through the movements, why and how it's beneficial. So yoga off the mat. So I left, and a teacher of mine told a story once, and he said, the way you know you're making progress, say hello when you jump on and let me know where you're watching from, what part of the world. But he said, the way you're making progress in your yoga journey is that, let's say you're at a stoplight and you're getting ready to cross the street, you're walking across the intersection, and you get that little white light to go, the little walk sign. You take a step off of the curb. Hello, Diane. How fabulous to have you. Yay, I've missed you. So he said, imagine you're taking a step off the curb. And just as you take the step off the curb to cross the street, this car comes out of nowhere and they come whizzing past you, and your whole body, the adrenaline rushes, you feel that surge of excitement, anxiety, nervousness, worry, your heart's palpitating, your breath is short, you feel that jitteriness, right? Well, oh yay, calling in from Ohio, Diane, are watching. When you get to that state, your whole body is on hyper alert because really you're in a state of fight or flight. Really, that was a life or death situation, and something that we can be very flippant about. Now, the trick is, here's how you know you're making progress on your yoga path. After that incident, he was okay. He wasn't hit, he narrowly missed disaster. But he was, no injuries, nothing wrong, except his nervous system was still really anxious and heightened. So how quickly he could go from that place back to a centered place of peacefulness, that time period is how he knew he was making progress on his path. Because when we do yoga, we may feel like superheroes, but we're not really becoming, like Wonder Woman, where nothing will affect us, or Iron Man, nothing's going to cause fear or worry or anxiety. That's going to come along. Yes, it's going to come along regardless. We're human. The beauty of a yoga practice on and off the mat is that you don't have to stay in the fear. You don't have to stay in the fight or flight, anxiousness, or worry. Now, the reason I share all of this was because on my way home from teaching that amazing yoga class, my students are amazing. That's why I say amazing. Even though I didn't do the yoga poses, I benefited from being around them in that space because I was rear-ended. I was in a car accident. It was minor, thank God, but enough where, like, you just know that sound. If you've ever been in a car accident and the crunching sound, oh, even now, like the whole body starts to, just pull up. Your energy pulls up. You get that worry, that fear, that nervous, anxious energy like you've drank too many cups of coffee. And when I was rear-ended, just, like half hour ago, I get very nervous when that happens. I've only been in a car accident a handful of times. It wasn't my first. But the guy behind me was stopped at a red light. He didn't realize, oh, thanks, Diane, yeah. He didn't realize that I was fully stopped, and he misjudged the distance and rear-ended me. So you get that jitteriness and just trying to control the shaking in my hands, right? I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? So I turned off the car, you put on the blinkers. This is where the training comes to help you. Because if you make choices from that fight or flight fear place, you're probably going to regret them later on. You're either gonna miss a step or you're gonna do something that throws you. So you take the deep breath. You imagine the roots growing from the soles of the feet down to the earth center. And I look in my rearview mirror and I see the shock on his face. And I think he's trying to figure out, did I register what happened? Like, can we just move on and pretend like this didn't happen? I turn the car off and I open the door. So then he opens his. And I look, and not much damage, but you're still shaking. And now you're in the middle of traffic as everything's going around you, right? But you're okay. Not injured, the car is a little damaged, but accidents happen. And you're trying to breathe, but still jittery, If you're not in a situation like this often, it's like, what do you do? So say, okay, let's just exchange information. We'll start there. So we exchange information. And then as I go back to the car, again, the training comes into play. The thigh bone's heavy, you take that seat, you take that rooting, and everything starts to shift. Now here's where I would encourage you to do something an extra step. You can always say prayers, always have Archangel Michael with me when I'm driving, so to speak, always asking for him to watch over me and guide me. But you take that deep breath and you can do something as simple as say, I'm okay, I am safe, I am well, I am whole, I am fine. And that I am is very soothing. You use the mantra that the yogis do. You can say it in the Sanskrit, which is hum sa, Hamsa. Hum sa, hum sa, hum sa. And just silently to yourself or out loud, you say the hum on the inhale, the sa on the exhale. And it'll get you from that very nervous, anxious place into a place of peacefulness. Everything's okay. And then you can make choices from that place and move forward. Because life happens and you want to be able to take your practice off the mat and into everyday life. So the benefit for me of having been in the yoga class this morning, even though I was teaching and not doing the poses physically, was that I felt the calm. And even as my body went into a state of anxiety, fight or flight, as soon as I realized everybody's okay, I can shift back into that place. And very, very interesting. So as you're on your journey today, I invite you, use the sound, the vibration of the words to help you shift back into a place of peacefulness. So when you feel agitated, when something happens, that shakes you up, go back to the sound, the mantra, the words that we say in order to evoke a particular feeling experience in the body. I am is a powerful one. I am well. I am joyful. I am okay. And the Sanskrit, because Sanskrit is a language of sound, which is so lovely, you can say hum, sa, and you just think peaceful. Hum, sa, calm. So give it a try. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to dive deeper into the practice and play of yoga, come hang out with me over in the Facebook group if you're not over there yet. I'm still accepting members, and it's a place where a community of friends, we get together and we share the journeys, right, of ups and downs and how we use yoga to stay in a place of peacefulness, to stay in the flow, essentially, because life happens. Helly, how fantastic to see you. Thanks for joining in. Holy cannoli. Yeah, so lots of play. Helen and I go way back. So thanks for joining me. Remember, the way that you're going to make a shift on your progress or shift on your path so that you know that you're making progress in the yoga journey is how quickly you recover from those state of anxiety where you're in that fight or flight moment and back into a place of even deep breathing, knowing that everything's going to be okay. So thanks so much for joining me, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Come hang out with me in the Yoga with Irena group if you're not over there already. We've got some fun things planned for the group as we move into the rest of spring, detoxing with yoga, so we feel more energetic, more alert and aware. All right, catch you on the flip side. Lots of love, guys. Bye-bye.